Thank you.
If I said Your Honor, it'd be fine. I can't. Thank you, Your Honor.
I heard it. I heard it.
All right, I'll pay the fine. Thank you, Your Honor. $5. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we do thank you for this special day. We're just blessed that you allow us to call this our home. We thank you for this club and for the services that we have been provided the opportunity to perform in this community. We pray that you just continue to open the doors for this club, so that we can find other ways to serve the people, and the businesses, and the schools in this great town. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the meal that we've had today as well. And we give you the praise in all things. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. I'm heard this time. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Joel Leach.
Thank you. So, I didn't know President-elect meant that it takes about 40 hours a week to find Sergeant at Arms. So here's the way it's going to work now. You're going to like this. Meet me after the meeting. I'm going to put your name down. I'd like to get a rotating schedule, get 4 people a month lined up for 4 minutes. That's about what it takes to do this. So that's a big opportunity for everybody. I will ask a few questions since I'm temperature sensitive. I can't take the heat anymore. But what was the highest temperature ever registered in Oklahoma?
119.
When?
19.
123.
No. No. Ever registered. The temperature in Tipton, Oklahoma reached 120 degrees on June 27th in 1994. Do what? Okay, let's go for this is the easier one. What was the coldest temperature ever registered in Oklahoma?
Minus 15.
Minus 23.
You're getting closer. Minus 31 degrees, setting the state's all-time record low. Minus 31. And that was in Nowak, Oklahoma. And that was 2025. January 22nd, 2025. Most of y'all were alive back then. Okay, one more weather related. I'd like to see it rain. Everybody would like to go rain? My yard is yellow as yellow can get. So how many gallons of water are in a cloud?
What size cloud?
A whole lot.
A whole lot. Okay, pull your dollars out. Each cubic meter of cumulus cloud contains about 0.5 grams of water. So a cloud with a volume of 1 billion cubic meters holds 500 million grams. In other words, 1.1 million pounds of water. It seems like that should just be falling, right? But anyway, the reason I'm really up here is because we need to raise money for these wonderful students that we have come through here. In the few years I've been here, and I see these kids parade across here and then come back the next year and tell me what they're doing, I'm amazed. So pull your dollars out, let's fill the buckets up, and I'm going to turn it back over to the boss. Your Honor.
Thank you very much. I don't know about you, but he lost me at math. That's never that. You want me to donate, just bring up a math question, I'll donate every time. But our rotarian of the day is Tony Revere. Tony's here today? Okay. A round of applause for our caterer, The Drift. Wonderful host. And we have several guests with us today. I apologize now. I I'm horrible with names, so I mispronounce it, correct me. It's, I'm just not good with names. With Bud Vick, we have several guests. We have Steve Lee. Steve, where you at? Welcome.
Thank you.
Lance Gardner.
Yep.
Awesome. And Johnny Gardner. All right. And then thank you all for joining us. And then with Cy Elber, we have Karen Dennett. Anybody have an announcement? It's not on the list, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here. So if you have an announcement, please go forward. There's a lot of people ready to listen about snakes, so keep it short.
This is the last week to sign up for fantasy football. We have 24 members who have signed up. We could use 2 to 4 more. This ends next week.
If you weren't here last week, you missed wonderful stories about how cutthroat and serious that fantasy football league is. So if you enjoy fantasy football, you won't find a tougher group to compete with. And that's to motivate you to join, not scare you away. Another announcement that we have is Tom Sanders is here. And if you notice, I believe it was in the paper, but we're also going to make the announcement today. But he has a very important anniversary coming up. So there will be an event at the Cedar Oaks Clubhouse on Sunday, August 23rd. They are celebrating 60 years of marriage. So if you're available on Sunday from 1 to 4, please go celebrate them. That'll be at the Cedar Oaks Clubhouse. All right, so our guest today, anybody coming to introduce him? It'll be me.
Judy is.
Judy?
Tom.
Tom, okay, sorry. I'm getting it. Everyone's pointing at each other. It's great. Y'all can all come up. Everyone can do it together. That's fine, but I didn't have biography, so I want to make sure somebody knows.
Well, our speaker today is a native of Arkansas. He's a naturalist. He's got his BS and his master's degree from the University of Arkansas, and he's retired from the Corps of Engineers. I've heard him speak before, and he's got a fascinating discussion who all of you Lake residents need to listen to and heed. So with that, Alan, it's all yours. This is Alan Blank.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Stand up here, that's all right. How many people here love snakes besides me? A few people? How many people hate snakes? Ah, okay. How many people here know that it's illegal to kill any snake in the state of Oklahoma? You people do? Are you aware of that? It's illegal to kill any snake. Why is that?
Because they're all good. They're all good.
They're all what?
They're all good.
They're all good, absolutely. So what is good about a venomous snake? They're not poisonous, they're venomous, first of all. So what is good about a venomous snake? Come on. Huh? They kill mice. Do they use the venom from venomous snakes to help us at all? And how do they do that?
Anticoagulant. Only if you get bit by one.
Okay. They actually use venom now to help women with breast cancer, certain people with arthritis, blood disorders, you name it. The list keeps going and going every year. It keeps having more. So the venom, so you all don't like the lowly copperhead or the water moccasin, just think that venom could be helping you in the future, or your family, or your kids. But it is illegal to kill them because they're all protected. They're a non-game protected species. And I know what you're going to say. Well, by God, if that snake gets to my house, they're going to kill my grandchildren. They're going to eat my kids up, or in my yard, I'm going to whack its head off. Because I hear that all the time. I've been a snake guy since I was a little bitty fella. So I've heard all the stories about all that. And all you have to do is if you come across a snake, and it's right here, turn around and go the other way. Go around him. It's real easy to do. You don't have to chop his head off. You don't have to mess with him. If you're ever bitten by a venomous snake, or any snake at all, it's because you deserve to be bitten by that snake. Why is that? because you were messing with that snake, and you didn't need to be messing with that snake. So if you're messing with him, poking him, trying to pick him up, do something, trying to show off you're bitten, then good for you. I'm glad you did. Hopefully not by venomous. I brought a few things to show you. Test your skill here. What is this? Is this a live snake? Is it a dead snake? No. So what is this?
Snake skin.
It's a snake skin. Did you know we're shedding our skin right now? We shed billions of cells every day, all the time. The snakes can only shed their skin, depending on the snake and how well it eats in the summertime right now, anywhere time between 1 and 4 times a year. So they shed very rarely. Can I tell if this is a venomous snake by looking at the scale? Yes. If that lower end, which this one doesn't have the head, I can usually key out the head. But remember, the skin is turned inside out. But if this was a complete skin, at the very bottom, I can tell you whether it's venomous or non-venomous. And 99% of the snakes that you encounter here in northeast Oklahoma are non-venomous. However, the snakes that you encounter in Grand Lake, you automatically assume, well, it's a water moccasin. When 9 out of 10 times, it's not a water moccasin. We have 3 types of non-venomous water snakes that live in Grand Lake, all the creeks and the ponds here. All of our snakes swim very well. They're not out in the middle of Grand Lake to get a tan or anything like that. They're just swimming from point A to point B. So they all swim. Just because you see it in the water, rarely is it a cottonmouth. Cottonmouth water moccasin, same snake, different name. But this is the snake skin. So, just like a rattlesnake. You all like rattlesnakes, right? Right? Yes. So we're going to look at the rattlesnakes. And first of all, always people are disappointed because right now in the summertime, it's hard to find a snake. Why is that? You ever thought about it? Do you see it much in the summertime like this, like the heat of the day? So are they warm-blooded? Or are they cold-blooded? Cold-blooded. You didn't know you were going to test today, did you? Test. They're cold-blooded. So whatever the temperature is outside is what their temperature is on the inside. So right now, snakes are in hiding. They only come out at night. Even then, it's pretty tough because it's been so hot lately. But they come out at night when they can cool down a little bit. In the spring, unfortunately, you see them on the roads a lot. Why do you see them on the roads? It's warm. Because they're trying to catch a ride, or is that the first thing that heats up in the morning? The asphalt, the concrete, they unfortunately don't know it's a road. But they see in April, May, when they first come out, you'll see them on the roads or on concrete over the driveway or whatever, because they're heating their body up to go out for the day. But right now, they only come out at night, so it's really tough to see one. So this is a fairly rare one. We don't see very many in northeast Oklahoma. This is the most venomous of our guys, which is good because we don't see very many. Any idea what this one is?
It's like a diamond tag.
It's a rattler. We have 3 types of rattlers here. This is what? Look at the pattern on its back. Kind of looks like a pattern of what? Diamonds. This is a diamondback rattler. Eastern. So we have a few here. Not a whole lot, which is good. They are the most, if a snake had to be labeled assertive, this would be an assertive snake. Can you depend on a rattlesnake to rattle before it strikes? No. Absolutely not. Remember, snakes can't hear. So you're walking down a trail, you're walking out, you're thinking they can hear you. They can't hear at all. Their eyesight is very poor. Maybe see 5 to 6 feet, that's about it. But what they can feel, obviously, is ground vibrations. Extremely sensitive to that. So a lot of times you're stepping on a log. I have stepped on 2 rattlesnakes before and didn't realize, I thought, oh, that felt weird. Looked back and the rattlesnake didn't rattle, didn't have time because I was on a hiker trail. But this guy, he does have his rattles here at the very bottom. And when we're done, if you want to come up and touch them, they're very, very smooth. But he has his rattles. Can you tell the age of a rattlesnake by the number of rattles?
Yes.
Absolutely not. Every time a rattlesnake sheds his skin, he adds a rattle. Do you know how many times he shed that year? No. Lots of times only once, maybe twice. A big snake like this, if he ate a squirrel in April or May when he first came out, he wouldn't eat anything else all season until he hibernates in the wintertime. So when they're first born, all the rattlesnakes, all the venomous snakes here in Oklahoma, all of
give live birth. So if you're a big composter, you got a garden, and you find eggs in there, oh my gosh, it's a rattle-headed copper moccasin, the most dangerous snake of all time. It is not a venomous snake. They all give live birth. They don't lay eggs. So when a rattlesnake is first born, they're born with a little button. And this snake actually has a little button. You can come up here in a minute and see it. It's born with a button. Every time he sheds his skin, he adds a rattle. So if you find a rattlesnake and you find that it's still got the button on the end, that means he's never lost his rattles. They're very fragile. If he was rattling here right now, most of you would hear it. A lot of you wouldn't hear it, especially in the back. But he's got his button, which is good. You can just guess how old this snake is. I'm going to guess it's probably 5 or 6 years old. But we don't know how many times it shed its skin. But this is the most venomous we have here, but also the least of our venomous snakes. This is an absolutely beautiful snake, and we have a lot of these around here. What do you think?
Timber. Pygmy.
A what?
Pygmy.
That would be a huge piggy.
Oh.
That'd be huge. This is a timber rattlesnake. Y'all ever seen one? Of all the rattlesnakes you're going to encounter here, the one you're probably going to encounter the most is the timber. I've seen them up to 6 feet, 6.5 feet. The rattles are growing on this one. This has been in front of too many kids over the years and eventually disappeared. But you can imagine the pattern to me, it kind of looks like a bird pattern, like a crude drawing of a bird flying. Kind of gives it away. An absolutely beautiful snake. They've done all kinds of studies on them. And what they like to do is they get in one spot and they'll lay there for a month, just laying in one spot, trying to catch a prey when it comes by. The more advanced snakes, actually more advanced, go out and go hunting. Now you also have a better chance of getting killed if you're mobile out hunting. But these guys like to sit, they've done radio telemetry on them, and they'll sit for a month in one spot waiting for chipmunk, squirrel, rat, whatever to come by and get it. So they do pretty good. Their venom is fairly strong, but not like the diamondback rattler. The timber rattler is the one you're going to probably come across the most. What's the other one that you mentioned? Pygmy rattler. Have you ever heard of pygmy rattler? How do they get that name? You remember the pygmy tribes in Africa? They're little bitty. Pygmy rattler, another name for them is ground rattler. Where they like to frequent, you like to hear this, it's like blackberry patches, if you're picking berries and stuff, because this would be a long, I didn't have to bring one, but this would be a long pygmy rattler. This is about as big as they get. If he was rattling now, you wouldn't be able to hear it. I mean, you just almost can't do it. But they like to eat crickets, grasshoppers, grubs, things like that. That's why a lot of times if you're picking blackberries or something like that, that's where they like to frequent, because that's where all the insects are. So they're not going to really eat any mice, birds, anything like that. So we had the pygmy rattler, which you see some, but the biggest one I've ever seen was 18 inches. Okay? So let's talk about the most numerous of our venomous snakes in northeast Oklahoma. What is that? Which one is that?
Copperhead.
Copperhead, absolutely, every time. Copperhead, how did it get its name? Copper penny, exactly. So they always have, I don't think I brought one of those, but they always have an hourglass pattern. If the minute they're born, remember they're given live birth, the young have a little yellow tail, but they always have what I call an hourglass marking on their back. It's amazing how many people, especially in the summertime, oh yeah, I killed a copperhead last night. I was driving 85 miles an hour, it was raining, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I saw it on the road, but I knew it was a copperhead every time. Because I'm the guy that goes, well, show me where you killed it, or they killed it at their house. Well, let me come to your house and show me where you killed it. Show me where it is. Oh, I threw it away. But I've done that before, and 99% of the time, it's not a copperhead. But a lot of snakes have the copper color. That's how they got their name copperhead. But they are our most least venomous. My dad was bitten by a copperhead. Was he doing something stupid? Absolutely. He was catching it for me to give a program for school kids. And my dad's name was Edgar, so we named him Little Ed. But he was doing everything wrong. Right at dark, the copperhead was coming across the driveway, pinned it behind the head, not far enough. Reached down and grabbed it, caught a lot of snakes like me. Got back and got him. course, he was old school, tough guy. I'm not going to the hospital. Yeah, you are. So he spent one night, didn't get any venom or anything like that. One night, and the next day, you know, his finger was always still messed up. 90% of the time, you're going to be bitten on the hand or the ankle. But just so you know, it's rare to be bitten anywhere else. And then I gave a program a few days later with the copperhead, and everybody wanted to know, am I going to kill him? I said, absolutely not. That snake was doing nothing wrong, trying to mind his business, going from point A to point B. My dad did something stupid, got bit, deserved it. Absolutely. So I let it go. So that's what we do. It wasn't his fault. So this guy is, this one in the coach whip. Probably a lot of people have never seen an Easter coach whip. They're beautiful. But this is about the longest snake you're going to come across. And everybody loves it. What is this?
Black snake.
It's a western black rat snake. Exactly. Why do people like it so much? They eat rats, they eat mice, they eat birds, they eat squirrels, they eat other snakes. They're a member of the constrictor family, which means they wrap around things. They don't crush it. But let's say you wrap around a chipmunk. Every time the chipmunk moves, he just squeezes a little tighter, until he can't breathe anymore. So he will, if he comes across another snake, venomous or non, he will wrap around it and eat that. But the most famous snake for doing that is what?
Oh.
You heard of speckled king snakes? I had a standing order from my parents. Anytime I caught a speckled king snake, I was to come and let it go at their house. They're famous, got a lot of pictures, and it takes a long time for them to do it, but they're immune to the venom of venomous snakes. And they'll wrap around, constrict, and it takes a while, and they'll eat any other snake. They'll eat the mother. They don't care. A snake is a snake. And when snakes give birth, whether they lay an egg or live bird, they don't hang around and protect them. They're on their own. That's why they give birth to so many young. If one of them lives out of 25, the 1-year-old, that's a big deal. Because a lot of things like to eat baby snakes. Even the venomous ones, when they're first born, have set fangs, they have venom. How do snakes smell? Any idea? Can you all smell with your tongue? No. So they stick it out, it's forked tongue. You know, you've always heard it has a stinger on the end of the tongue, all these false things about it. But they'll stick it out, they get air samples, they bring it back, touch the roof of their mouth. It's called the Jacobson organ, and that's what tells them what's out there. Okay? So that's very important. So that's how they smell, that's how they know what's going on. So there's nothing on the end of it, there's no stinger on the end of any snake's tail. I've always heard about the milk snake. We have 2 types of milk snakes here. That they would, go up to a cow and take milk from its udder, because that snake was a milk snake. So in the hoop snake, which we don't have any around here, would get its mouth and tail and get a hoop and roll down a hill. So all these stories you've told, and you've also probably heard, I guarantee you everybody here has heard, well, if it had that triangle-shaped head, it's guaranteed a venomous snake. Have y'all heard that before? Yeah, that's false. So many false things about snakes. Like you've heard, well, it's had triangle-shaped head. But we have, you've heard the hognose snake, the Eastern hognose, the one that plays dead, okay, has a triangle-shaped head. Yeah, how do I know? And you can get a lot closer to a snake than you think you can. They can only strike 1/3 the distance of their body, so just very, very short strike. How do I know by looking at his head here? If there was one here, how do I look? By looking at his head, how do I know he's venomous or non-venomous? Any idea?
Pit vipers. Pit vipers.
Pit viper. So all of our venomous snakes in Oklahoma are pit vipers. So what does that mean? You can't just point, you have to talk. Point's not head here. So that means they have a heat-sensitive pit. Between their nostril and their eye, you'll see a dark pit. Okay? That is so sensitive to heat that if this room was completely dark, I mean, you couldn't see anything, and you let some rats go in here, and you let some venomous snakes go in here, they could trail it, catch it, kill it, and eat it without ever seeing it from that pit. So all of our venomous snakes in Oklahoma up here are pit vipers. And you'll see a non-venomous snake that does not have that pit between there and there. What else gives it away by looking at the head?
Hooded eyes.
Eyes. What about their eyes?
They're hooded.
Okay. Hey, y'all have cats? If you don't, I've got some cats. Just give me your name, I'll drop them off for you. You ever seen a cat's pupil? How does a cat's pupil go? Straight up and down. How do ours go? Round. Okay. All venomous snakes here have a vertical pupil. Okay. And believe me, you get a lot closer than you think to a snake to see that. But the pit always gives it away, and always the vertical. Now, if somebody brings in a boa constrictor or reticulated python, that's not a native snake. They have vertical pupils, so don't get confused. Just snakes here in Oklahoma. So vertical pupil gives it away, pit gives it away. There's another way to tell, but you're not going to get close enough to catch it, turn it upside down, and look at the scales. I doubt you're going to do that. I will. You don't have to. So you can do that. Now, but a lot of people want to know what a snake looks like on the inside. This is what a snake looks like on the inside. The only thing missing are its ribs. And I'll pass this around. It's pretty fragile. But you can line all that up if you want. But that is the skeleton of a snake. So you always wonder, I've seen snakes 60 feet up in trees. Why is a snake up in a tree? And I've seen them climb bluffs, rock ledges, limestone. They go up like this. You think, how on earth can they do that? When you see the skeleton and see how loose it is, see how they can do that, they just grip everything and can do that. But I have seen snakes 60 feet up in the air in the tree. Why is a snake in a tree? Birds, squirrels, exactly. They can smell it, so they'll climb it, right up, go up. And I always divert. Did you all know what two type of foxes do we have in Northeast Oklahoma? Foxes. Red and gray. Did you know one of them can climb a tree and one can't? The gray fox can climb a tree. The red fox can't. Like I said, I don't know. Okay. What to do if you're bitten by a venomous snake? I've been bitten hundreds of times by non-venomous snakes. All you do there is about like a bee sting. You'll have blood come up. They have 3 rows of teeth. They're all curved inwards. Their jaws are not hinged. So when they grab a prey, they can release one side of the jaw, pull up, release the other one, pull up. Pretty fascinating how they do that. But they have 3 rows of teeth. Now, venomous have a set of fangs, which is like a hypodermic needle. They always have another set you can't see right back behind. So if they lose their fangs, which can happen very frequently, they always have another set that within 2 weeks can grow back, because that's how they can catch it, kill it, eat their food. So what do you do if you're around here, if you're on Grand Lake, or you're at the park, and you're bitten by a venomous snake? What should you do? Have you thought about that? Nobody's ever thought about that. You may now. Okay. And like I said, most people have been on the hand or the foot, so that's where they're gardening or doing something like that. So the best thing you can do, especially if you have a kid with you, don't let that kid run. Pick that kid up if you can. Because when they're running and that venom gets in the bloodstream, what happens when they start running? It gets to the heart that much faster. So we don't want to do that. You've heard the old John Wayne method where you cut an X and suck the venom out. That's about as stupid as it gets. Put a tourniquet on there? No. Unless you've been medically trained to put a tourniquet, and you don't need to. Put ice on it? No. Absolutely nothing. Here, you're within 2 hours of the hospital, no matter where you're at. So if you're bitten, keep it above the heart if you can. If people are extremely scared of snakes, even if they're not bitten, you have to treat them, you have to look and watch for shock. Okay, we had a neighbor that had a snake in her house, didn't do anything, just the fact that she saw it, she went into shock. So we had to put blankets on her, take her to the hospital, spent the night, just from the fear of the snake. Lived in the woods, of all people. A black rat snake got in there, freaked her out, kind of deal. But the best thing I've seen that you can do is, besides nothing, get to the hospital as quick as you can. And that's the only time that we encourage you to kill a snake. If you're bitten by a snake, even if you're not sure, venomous or not venomous, kill the snake, put it in a bag, take it to the hospital with you. It's important that they identify what kind of snake it was that bit you. Was it venomous? Was it non-venomous? What kind of venomous was it? And how much venom was in your system? The best thing I found, and I think Walmart still sells it, these little first aid kits. And what I like about them is there an extractor. It's got a razor blade, so if you're like bitten on like you have a really hairy arm, you can shave that off. But what's neat is, and this works for wasp stings, scorpion. We have a lot of scorpion here. Put it over here. But it's just called the extractor. I think it's 10 or 12 bucks at Walmart. And you have to have it with you if you're hiking or if you're out in the woods a lot and you know that you may encounter a snake. But like I'm been right here, and I just put this over it. And that's all it does. It sucks everything out. It'll suck the blood out, but it'll suck the venom out. Also good for wasp sting, scorpions, anything else that you're afraid of. I think they're like 10 or 12 bucks at Walmart, I believe. So, and it's got different sizes depending on what bit you. It's got like 5 different sizes in here. But again, it won't do you any good if you don't have it with you. If you're hiking, have it in your backpack. If you're out in the woods a lot, have it in the car where you're not too far away. Then you just pop it off, and that's it. So it's just called the extractor. I don't have stock in the company. I just saw, I've seen people use them, and they're very effective. Will they get all the venom out? It depends on how soon if you're bitten within a couple of minutes, it'll get most of the venom out, but it won't get all the venom out. Okay? So, pretty cool. So, I know I've got limited time, so questions for me. I know you have some questions. You've got them. Yes, sir.
Venomous snakes versus non, which one will submerge in the water? Which one stays on the top?
Well, remember then, we didn't talk much about the cottonmouth and the water moccasin. That's the same snake that has 2 different names. And you can't tell all the time, but if you see a snake on top of the water where most of his body is on top of the water, I would say 60% of the time that's a cottonmouth. If you see a snake where just his head is out of the water, most of the time that's a non-venomous. But remember, they all swim, and we have 3 types of non-venomous water snakes that are in the water all the time. Yes, sir.
Okay, I was on my dock.
Okay.
It was probably about 1.5 feet from the water.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this great, short, diamondback-looking snake came charging me with a big mouth, and he looked like a pygmy. Is that the rattlesnake or the moccasin?
No, that's a diamondback water snake, non-venomous. You said you had kind of like a diamond shape. We have a diamondback water snake.
Very aggressive.
Yes. Yeah, they can be. If they're, like if you had like perch on a line or something like that, they'll come up and eat the fish that you have hanging off a dock or something, so they'll come and eat that. Crawdads, minnows, anything like that. So yeah, that's rare, but yeah, we do have the diamondback water snake. And that sounds like what it was, yeah.
We do have a microphone going around, so we'll get it to you.
So I've heard it both ways. Do snakes hibernate in the winter, or do they not? Because
They do hibernate. And you know, October, November, depending, and there'll be 6 or 7 different species in one group. Now usually in the limestone bluffs, sometimes logs, but usually we have a lot of limestone bluffs, sandstone, and they'll use the same place year after year. An average lifespan of a snake is 4 to 5 years, you know, before something gets it. So they don't live very long, but there'll be sometimes 100, 150 snakes in one area, but you won't see them because they're underground. So, and then they'll come out, usually late March, April. If it's warm enough, they come out too soon, then they'll freeze to death. So, but yeah, very common. And there'll be a lot of different species in there. Yes?
After doing some checking, you mentioned going to the hospital, I've found out that the Grove Integrated Hospital does not carry into any anti-venom. They take you on to Joplin. So that seems to be a pretty big negative to me. Granted,
Oh, in the Grove Hospital?
yeah.
Yeah. I guess the Joplin one's a lot bigger. Yeah.
They have no anti-venom.
Really? That's not good. Remember, on average wide in the United States, 12 to 20 people die from venomous snake bites. How many people die from honeybee stings in the United States per year?
A couple hundred.
Over 5,000. How many people die from lightning? In an average year in the United States, 7 to 10,000. You don't hear about it a lot. You know, a lot of times they get struck and they die later. So the chances of seeing a snake, chances of it being a venomous snake, chances of you being bitten by it are so rare, you better worry about the honeybees and the lightning before you worry about snakes. Seriously. Another question. Yes.
Not so much, well, somewhat of a question because I don't understand how it works. But
Okay.
I like snakes. I've always liked snakes. I've had pet snakes.
Yes.
And about 3 weeks ago, my granddaughter was visiting us at the lake, and she, Granddad, come here, look at this. And she had found this 5 foot, 4.5 foot black snake.
Good.
Well, that's cool. And so, we want to teach her not to be afraid of the snakes, and this thing's curled up behind it. Obviously, it was a black snake until it rattled. I had never heard a non-venomous snake rattle. But, of course, I went to AI to try to figure out what the heck was going on. And they buzz. They can buzz. But it is disconcerting if you don't know that they can buzz.
They shake the very end of their tail, and if they're in dry leaves, it sounds just like a rattlesnake. They'll shake it, I don't think they know to do that to imitate a rattlesnake. They just shake the end of their tail. Like I said, if it's in the leaves in the forest and in the fall, it sounds like a rattle.
This was on our deck, and there were no leaves.
Yeah, but you just hear that tail shaking, yeah. It's kind of scary when you see that. Pretty common. Black rat snakes, I know y'all probably not a big fan of them, but when I see them, I just can pick them up. You don't have to put a thing behind their head. Yeah, they can bite you. Garter snakes, probably the most common snake in Northeast Oklahoma. Not garden, but garter snakes. We have that, lots of them. Their trick is, if you pick them up, because they're not really going to bite you, they might bite you, but to put it nicely, they emit a foul-smelling musk at the base of their tail all over you. They poop all over you. And it's gross. And what do they want you to do? I want you to put them down. Because they can't bite you, they could bite you. And again, if you're bit by a non-venomous snake, just get some rubbing alcohol and clean it off. You don't have to put a Band-Aid on it or anything. But just clean it off, it's fine. You can milk it for all you want, oh my God, I'm going to die, and oh my gosh, you want to do that. Just rub alcohol and you'll be all right. Yes?
In our area, do we have a lot of invasive species like cobras and, not cobras, boas and pythons?
No, not here. In Florida, lots of them. But here, we have a lot of invasive plants, a lot of invasive trees, but we don't have any invasive snakes. If somebody let go of that boa constrictor, it would die in the wintertime. Just like on beaver, we get a report every now and then where there's, somebody caught a piranha, in the lake. And you can't, because somebody let it go as a pet. And it would not live in the wintertime. But somebody caught it, big news, the whole thing. So, but none up here. Thank goodness. Yes?
I'm back in a cove, and it seems like I get a lot of venomous snakes, mainly the copperheads. And I like to cut down some of the brush in the bluff. And I was going to do it last fall, and somebody said, oh gosh, no, you don't want to do it then, because that's when copperheads have their babies, and they have a dozen babies, and you'll be walking into a snake pit. Do they have them in the fall, and is that more dangerous in the fall than it would be other times of the year?
When they have their babies, usually it's May or June, for the most time. And you can remember, as soon as they get live birth, they're gone. The mother doesn't stay around. If you find one, you've always heard if you find one cottonmouth, you'll find a bunch of others. That's wrong. That could be just coincidence that you find one. Or you can smell a snake, before you see it. That's wrong. You may, but rare, And I'm the guy that looks for snakes all the time. I've never smelled a snake before I saw it. Yes?
So you said that if you run into a snake, you turn away and leave it. Is there any chance that it would chase you?
That it could bite you?
Or that it would chase you? Do we have any snakes that are that aggressive that they would chase you if you ran from them?
That could what?
Chase
you. No. If you come across a snake right here and you turn around and go that way, and it just happens to be you're on your way, it's not because it's chasing you. Even the racer, you've heard of the eastern racer, or what they call black racer. Everybody here can run backwards than a racer can go. And they're pretty fast, but they go maybe 2 miles an hour, But no, they're not going to chase you. They know you're a predator, just like all our black bear here. They're very much afraid of us. They know we're the top dog, the predator. You give them a half a chance, they're gone. But they're not going to chase you. Good question. Yes, sir.
So, I've actually had a snake be very aggressive.
Yeah. Were you messing with him?
I was
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I was fishing my dog. He
Okay.
came out. I caught a fish. He came out, hit that fish.
Right.
But then he stayed in that dock and he was coiled up in the water. I knew he couldn't get out.
Right.
But he stayed there with his head up, ready to strike me.
Right.
He wanted to hit me. It wasn't a moccasin. I thought it was a big brown snake. But I think he said maybe it's a diamondback.
Yeah, we have the plain belly, we have, like I said, 3 different kinds, but the diamondback is the most numerous of our water snakes. And they were aggressive on it because of its food or they feel threatened. And they will open their mouth, and that's why the cottonmouth got its name. Because when he opened his mouth, it looked like a ball of cotton. It's very white.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't a cottonmouth, but it was,
right.
I mean, it stayed there for, and I've stayed there because I'm not terribly afraid of snakes.
Right.
It was down there for at least 45 minutes.
Did he live to see the next day?
I didn't kill him.
Okay, good. All right, good. Yes.
I have a question. So this is before I learned about snakes. And Mark, you can arrest me now because
I did kill a snake. That was on my front porch, and it had the diamond head, I was pretty sure, and I killed it. And it had a musky smell. And it was a water snake, plain belly water snake, I learned. But do they have a musky smell?
They can, especially the water snakes because they're in the mud, you know, and stuff like that. And also if you killed it, if it emitted anything at the anal, you know, the base of its tail, it would smell very gross. And it could smell pretty nasty if he's eating fish or minnows or something like that. It could be pretty gross.
Sorry.
Follow-up question.
I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
So if we're swimming in the lake, can a snake bite you underwater?
Yes. That's how they catch their prey.
Okay.
Yeah. Is a snake to be afraid of in the water? No, absolutely not. A chance of seeing them in the water, again, like every other predator, you give them half a chance, they're gone. Because they know we're not to be messed with. So yes, they can bite you underwater. And have I ever heard of anybody ever in the United States bitten underwater? No. That doesn't mean it can't happen. But that's how they catch their minnows and perch and crawdads and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right, well, I'll wrap it up with one final question of my personal curiosity and clarification. Now, you said it is a myth that all snakes with a diamond-shaped head are venomous. But are all venomous snakes, do they have a diamond-shaped head?
No, not all.
I was hoping at least I could rest easy knowing I could at least know that it is venomous.
Right. And the reason that most of them have a triangle-shaped head is because of the venom sacs on the side of their head. But no, not all.
Okay.
No. Good question.
Well, thank you very much. One more. All right, last question.
I babysat for a couple servicemen,
Okay.
and they keep boas and pythons in their foot lockers because they're just scary. But they're really great snakes, but I had a postman that wouldn't deliver to my house because my python liked to lay in the front window.
Right. And they were boa constrictors.
One was a boa and one was a pond.
Okay. And I've raised boa constrictors and fed up squirrels and chipmunks and rats and all that stuff. Until my sister started having babies, and my mother said, "I'm calling, you're not bringing that." It was 6 foot boa constrictor. You're not going to bring that baby home, that snake home to eat my grandbabies. So I had to give the snake away. So the main thing is, snakes are here. They were here first before us. If you live out on the lake, you know, try to get along with them. If they're in your house or yard, try to turn around, pick them up, do that. Before I forget, the reason I'm here today is because of this lady right here. Because I'm on the board with the Audubon Society, which started up, and they're celebrating their 2-year anniversary coming up. I think most of you got a flyer. And it's exciting that you all announced it, because you all have made donations to the Audubon, and I'm very excited that you all have decided to double that amount of donation next year. You don't know that yet, but thank you very much for doubling that donation. You're going to do that, right? See, right there. Double donation. Amazing person. You've had her speak before. Amazing her farm, what she does, and started the Audubon chapter, restarted the Audubon chapter. Amazing person to be around. You want to learn about goats, emus, chickens, all that. That's the queen right there. Kim Bird Lee. Okay.
Thank you so much. Round of applause for our speakers today. Can we point out where the bones? Okay, they're at that table over there.
Oh, and I'll put everything on this pure table right here.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that was a amazing presentation. I'm now a little more cautious of hiking, swimming, bees, and thunderstorms, as well as snakes. But I will do my best to make sure I go the other way. Our program next week is Chief Lena Wallace with the Eastern Shawnee Tribe. She's been here before. We all know those are wonderful presentations. As for the chairs and tables, please pick everything up. And with that, we'll adjourn with the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth?
To the fair and all concerned, will do goodwill and better friendships, will be beneficial to all concerned.
And is it fun? All right, former Rotarian.